Hi guys, Jim here with another Sudoku themed video, and today I will be playing through a miracle Sudoku, which sounds intriguing. I'm sure you'll agree. This is actually the last variant I'm introducing. Well, I say it's the last variant. It's the last one of the 7 apps that the Cracking the Cryptic team released. So I think there was Classic, Thermo, Arrow, Sandwich. Wait, Classic, Thermo, Arrow, Sandwich, Killer. I'm missing one. Anyway, Miracle and Chess. Chess, that's right. There you go. So this is the last one of those. Now, I think this might be my favorite type of Sudoku variant that they've released in a big bulk. And we'll go through the rules in a second. Although the rules are a bit different per puzzle, they're actually it's a bit less specific one type of puzzle. It's a different sample. It's a little variety pack, if you like. But as I said in the intro to the other videos, I'm playing through Cracking the Cryptic's collection of puzzles. I'm a very average Sudoku solver, maybe a little bit better than average, but certainly intermediate to advanced. I'm nowhere near expert or beyond, right? And I love these puzzles, and I think they are fantastic. I think they're some of the best puzzles that you can get. They're handcrafted, right? So they're literally made by scratch by some very clever people, and you can tell, right? It's they have a lot of care and attention to them. And also, like watching the Cracking the Cryptic guys complete these puzzles over on their channel, which I'd strongly recommend you check out. Link in the description, etc., etc. They have introduced me to all these different types of variants, but also like how to think about how to solve them. And yeah, right. So with that preamble, I suppose, let's jump in. Why not? So again, as with all the other puzzles, there's 100 puzzles in this collection, and in order to access the later ones, you need to earn stars by beating the easier ones. And what's interesting here, so you'll see they've all just got puzzle number name, and then they've all got different types. They've got different descriptors, and so really this is like 6 or 7 different puzzle types in one. So this first one is a non-consecutive Sudoku. Right, but then the next one is a non-consecutive Thermo Sudoku, and then it's a non-consecutive sandwich. So this is why I waited till the last to introduce this app, because this sort of relies on the other rules. But they largely have this non-consecutive rule, so it's sort of a collection of those, but with variations around them. So let's jump in. Right. Welcome to non-consecutive Sudoku. In non-consecutive Sudoku, every row, column, and box must have all numbers from 1 to 9 exactly once. The normal Sudoku rules. In addition, 2 directly adjacent cells cannot contain consecutive numbers. For example, if one cell contains a 5, the 4 neighbouring cells cannot be 4 or 6. Good luck. Right, and so you can see from this Sudoku, it doesn't look like there's enough information here to be able to solve it. And there isn't. Right, so if you just treated this like a classic, it wouldn't solve, or it wouldn't have one unique solution. Instead, you need to use this rule, and I just think it's fascinating, and it makes you think about things in a very different way. So let's jump in. So this box immediately looks quite interesting, right? So if we think, where can you put a 5, for instance? So we know by the rule set that you can't put a 5 next to a 6. You also can't put it next to a 4. So there's a 4 there, and there, in fact. And, as it happens, there's a 5 in this row. So the 5 is already ruled out from these 3 cells, and it's ruled out from here by the consecutive rule. So then we know that the 5 goes there. If I look down in this box, then I know that 5 can't go there. So the 2 5s up here allow me to pencil mark some 5s down there as well. Okay, quick start. I'm going to slow down now, I expect. Do I get anything else interesting along those lines? Well, I'm given a 9 now. Where can a 9 go in this box? It can only go here, so that's a 9. So that's interesting. Actually, that gives me something here. So where does 8 go in this row? So it still needs an 8, but it can't go next to a 7, so it can't go there, and it can't go next to a 9, because then it'd be consecutive. So an 8 can only go here. See, it's really weird, the logic in these types of puzzles is really cool. What else am I missing from this box? I end up doing a lot of this type of pencil marking. 2, 6, no, 2, 7, and 8. Ah, okay. So I'm given the 2 directly here anyway. Excuse me, still got my cough. Right, so yeah, there's a 7 and 8 in this row, so that must be a 2. And then that must be a 1. And then, yeah, look here, so 6 can't be next to a 7. So these two, normally you wouldn't be able to tell them apart. They'd be stuck there as, you know, that's a 7-8 pair until something else disambiguated it. But no, look, I can say straight away that can't be a 7. So that must be an 8, and that must be a 7. And then, what do we do next? Can I figure these out? So I'm missing a 1 and a 6. Yes, I can. Look, 6 can't go next to the 5. So the 6 must come down here. That is therefore a 1. If I look in this box, that's quite nice. So where does 2 go? So 2 can't go next to the 1 there. So I can pencil mark some 2s, which gives me 2s up there. Now, normally I wouldn't do 3 box pencil markings, but in these types of Sudokus, I think it can be quite helpful. Oh, I'm being daft, right? 5 can't go next to 6. Gosh, that was silly of me. Ah, yes, 7. Where does 7 go over here? Well, we know it goes in one of these 3, but it can't go next to 6 or 8. So that is good. What about 5? Is that restricted? Sort of. Well, let's do a bit of regular Sudokuing. So there's a 1 in these 2 boxes. One of those 2 boxes has a 1. One of these 2 has a 1 because of these 2 restricting it to this, and then that's a 2, so it can't go there. Interesting. So there's a 1 here as well by Sudoku, right? So that gives me a little X-wing on these ones. So we know that in these 2 columns we can't have any more 1s. So that means that in this box there's a 1 down in here. What about 2s? Anything else interesting on 2s? So I can't put 2 there. So 2 can go... interesting. So 2 can't go here because of the 1, and it can't go here because of the 3. So actually that looks a bit forlorn, that hunt for 2s, but that's actually quite productive, and I can take out the 2. Didn't mean to do that. I can take out the 2 from that box because I know that whichever way around these 2 go, that 2 is in this column, so it can't possibly be there as well. Okay, let's check out 3s. So 3s are restricted to here. So this is interesting. So I love this. This is one of my favorite things about non-consecutive Sudoku. So we've limited 3s to here in this box. So what does that mean? What does that mean about the potential for this being a 2? So previously I said this could be a 2, right? This pencil mark, that could be a 2. But because I've now pencil marked 3s here, it actually means I cannot make either of these a 2 or indeed a 4. Okay, there's a 4 in the box, whatever. But if I was able to put 4 in this box or row, I wouldn't be able to put it here. And that is because if I put a 2 here, well, it forces the 3 to be there, which is next to the 2, which is not allowed. And if I put the 3 here, then I just can't put the 2 there anyway. So so either the 3 goes here, in which case it's not a 2, or the 3 goes here, in which case that can't be a 2. So both cases for this 3 rule this out from being a 2. So that is a 2. So that's interesting. That's what I love. I don't know why, but I find great joy in that little logical deduction. I can pencil mark 2s here because it have to go in one of these 3 by Sudoku, and the 1 and the 3 both gang up on this cell. Definitely not a 2 in this cell. Definitely not. Right. Can I keep going? Okay, I'm just going to keep going around. Right, yes, so where do 4 go in this box? Obviously these 4s rule out that. So 4 goes here, can't go next to the 5 or the 3, so 4 must go there, which is lovely. 4s in this box go here, so that is in fact a 1-4 pair, not 7. which means that these two are a 5-9 pair. And I can't put a 5 next to a 4. So in fact, I can solve those two straight away. We know a 9. Interesting. I can place 9 in this row because it can't go here. It must go in one of these three. Can't go next to a 9, obviously, but also can't go next to an 8 because we're playing weird Sudoku. So that is a 9, which means that therefore is a 2 by my earlier pencil markings. That puts a 2 down here. What else? Okay. Did I finish 4s? Yeah. 5s, anything interesting on 5s? There we go. That's the last cell in the box. Must be a 5. Well, that's 6. 6 in here. Must go one of those two. Can't go next to the 5, so that's a 6. Yep, same logic. Oh, no, not quite. So similar logic, but I need a 6 in one of these three. I can roll it out from that cell. So that's a 6. What else goes here? 8. 8. Ooh, 8 can't go here. So in this is a 3, 6, 8 collection, and I can't put a 6 or an 8 next to the 7, so that must be a 3. And then this is an 8, 6 pair. You can see how I'm sort of filling out, like I've got barely anything in the corner boxes. In fact, I haven't got anything in the corner boxes yet. These were given digits. So you start from the middle and you kind of grow outwards like that. So the non-consecutiveness, if you like. What else? What else? 9s must go up there. Ooh, don't like that. There we go. Let's go here. There we go. That is in fact a 9. So that must be a 2. What about down here so we can complete this triple? So this is a 7, 8, 4? No. 2? Yes. 7, 8, 2. And we can't put the 7 next to the 6. We can't put the 8 next to the 9. And we can't put the 2 next to the 1. So that almost sorted itself out, and then it didn't, very disappointingly. And then we've got a 1, 3 pair. And I can disambiguate that because of, well, this is really not a 3. In no way is this a 3. It's like got a 3 right next to it and 2 4s ganging up on it as well. So that's definitely not a 3. It is indeed a 1, which gives us a 3 down here, which gives us pencil marked 3s over there. Interesting, right? So same logic as before. This cannot be a 2 because of the 2 3s here. So that's quite nice. So I can remove that 2 pencil marking. Unfortunately, it doesn't solve it because I did have 3 2s pencil marked in there, which isn't what you want, but never mind. 3s are up here. Aha! I've literally... How many times have I used this now? This is my 3rd use of the double 3s, right? Those 2 3s gang up on that 2, so that can't be a 2. So in fact, that is a 2, which gives us 2s in here. What are these? These are 7 and 8. Yes, and that can't be a 7 because it's next to a 6. So that is 7 and 8. How nice. Now this box is interesting in 8s, isn't it? Because we've got, can't be there or there because of the 8s, but then also there's a 9. So the 8s are sort of in this triangle, arrow, corner. You know what I'm trying to say. What about 5s? So we've got 5s in here. Which puts a 5 in here. So that's lovely. Because you can't, this virtual 5 up here sorts this column out, and then this one here means that 5 can't go here, and then there's a 5 in the row next to it. What else are we missing? 6 and 8 and 7. I can't put 6 here, but I could still put 7, 8. And this could be all 3, I think. 6, 7, 8, yes. 5. So I was making good progress with 5s. Can I continue? These are a 5 pair. 5's in there. Nope. Okay, about 6. What about 6? 6 looks useless. 6 looks useless. Okay, what about 7? It's easy to miss. You might have a cheeky bit of non-consecutiveness hiding in the wings somewhere. What about 8? Come on. Ah, yes. See, look. This 8 can't be there because it's next to a 9. That's probably been available forever because that 9 is a given 9. So that is in fact a 7. This might do some damage actually. That's a 2. That's an 8. Did it do any damage at all? No. Ah, well it has inadvertently because where does 8 go in this box now? Well, it can't go here and here because of these two 8s, and then this 9 does double damage as well. So that must be an 8, which means that must be a 3, which gives us a 3 up there. Where does excuse me. Ah, sorry, that 8 sorted this 7 out. This is 6, 8 pair. 7. Ah, 7 can't be in either of these two squares because of these 8s, and then these two 7s do the rest of the work. So this must be a 7, which gives us a 7 pencil mark up there and here, which is lovely. So an interesting thing here, right? This is a 6-8 pair, so you don't know which one it is, but it rules that out from ever being a 7. Now, okay, in this case, there's a 7 already in the column, but that's another interesting bit of logic, right? So whichever this is, a 6 or an 8, both of those would eliminate that from being a 7, and as it is one of those, this can never be a 7. So that's a sort of interesting logic you've got to keep an eye out for. Do I just start again now? 1's down here. I feel like I'm going around in circles a bit. 2's, 3's. You can see I'd be terrible if you gave me this paper with pencil and paper. If you gave me this puzzle with pencil and paper, I would have no chance. I so rely on the quality of life features of this app. And that's another thing. The puzzles that the guys solve on the channel, they don't have any of this. But they have a very limited amount of functionality, right? They solve a lot of this stuff from scratch. They've got to be spotting when pencil marks need to be removed and that kind of thing. So it's much harder, and they do much harder puzzles. Go check them out. They're just great. They're just great. Right, come on. Surely we can do a bit more on 6's. No? Okay, 6's can't be here. I'll pencil mark that in, I think. I am not making great progress here on my 3's. Nope. See, this is what I end up doing. I just sort of like pillock around a bit. Ah! There we go. How did I miss that? There's an 8 on its lonesome. Does that help? No. 8's pencil marked in there. 8's are in one of those 3. Probably missing something very obvious, aren't I? It's usually the way. Why don't I look at some of the rows that I've got for you left to go in, right? So what's this? Excuse me. Yeah, I think this is going to be productive. Yes, I can already see this has worked in my favour. Just looking at this row. Where does 1 go in this row? I still need a 1. Can't go next to a 2. Can't go next to this 2. In fact, yeah, so these pencil marks here, I should have been able to sort that out. No, that's the wrong number. That is a 1, which sorts this 1 out. That can no longer be a 2 because it'd be next to this 1, so that's a 2, that's a 5. The 5 goes up here. What are these? These are 6 and 4, I think. Yes, which can be resolved. because that's a 6 and a 4 because of that 6 there. And there's a 1 and a 4 by my lovely pencil markings from earlier. Ah, yes, and that has sorted out my 1s. The 1s are done, which is nice, because now look, if I think where does the 2 go in this box, it has no choice but to go in one of these two. In fact, I had already pencil marked some 2s over here, so there's my last 2. Fine. You got me. You got me. 3s haven't yet been sorted, have they? 4s. I must be getting close now. 4s. Yes, that is a 4. It was the last one in the row. 4 can't go next to 5, so that's a 4. That means that's a 5. Which means that's a 5. Which means that's a 7. Which means that's a 3. Which means that's a 3. Which means that's a 7. Goodness. That was quite a productive little burst, wasn't it? What am I missing here? 9. Yeah, that must be a 9. So that's a 6, 8, and the 6 can't next to the 5. So that's a 6. That's an 8. That's an 8. That's a 6. That's a 6. That's an 8. Little 8, 6 dance all the way down there. That's a 9. That is a 4 missing from the box. That's a 9, and then finally that's a 6. Hooray! So there you go. That's a non-consecutive Sudoku. They get really interesting, the miracle ones. Really interesting. Yeah, but basically it's about non-consecutiveness, but then a load of other things thrown on top. And the miracle point is that they can be solved with very few given clues, which we'll see later. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you have been, and you made it this far, and you didn't cringe at my terrible solving of that puzzle, and I will see you next time. Thank you very much. Cheers.